Hello guys, my name is Patrick Mensah, and today I am going to talk about how to use colors in our programming. So before we do uh, graphs that have to, like, for example, histogram, um, pie charts, bar charts, um, correlation with, it's very important to use it's very important to use colors to help beautify your outputs for your presenters or your board members to understand what you are doing clearly. So this section is to show you how to use colors in our programming. Now let's get started. So for example, if you want to create a sequence from 50 to 0 by 7 with 7 intervals, what we have to do is that we use this code to create the sequence. I think I have to, in my previous section, I showed you how to use sequence. So this is from 50 to 0 by -7. So we run it. If you want to know your output, you run fillet, and then it shows you the output over here. Very, very nice. Now, if you want to use a bar plot for this data, we can show this over here. Bar plot over here, very, very nice. Then you run it, and it gives you this gray listed over here. Very, very nice. So if you want to use you can add titles, and then you can add titles, you can add values to the Y column and then the X values by using this code. This code is here. So it's just to give you the value for the Y values and then the value for X values. You run it, and then it gives you everything over here. Very, very nice. So now let's look at how we can add. It gives you a very this gradient thing over here. Now let's look at how to add colors to it. But before that, what are colors? I told you in a previous video that if you want to know how to do that, we use this function, and then it shows you what colors are, and it gives you all the descriptions, everything over here, how to use the colors and everything. We have the RGB, we have heat colors, topo colors. I will show you how to do all this. Now, there are, in our programming, there are 657 colors, and let me show you how it is done. So, okay, if you want to know the colors, okay, so you can see that all the colors are here, and then it starts from it is alphabetically arranged, but it starts from white. That is how colors are, and then they are 657. Now, if you want to know the colors, all the colors in our programming, you can browse this code, and then this one, when you run this code, is going to give you something like this. So when you run it, it gives you something like this, using colors in our programming. And we can see that all the colors over here, there are so many colors. You can now, all these colors can be downloaded in Google Sheets. It can be downloaded in an Excel form. It can also be downloaded as a PDF. So we can just run the PDF, and we can just download it as a PDF, and then it will just give you the PDF values, the PDF. Now when you download it, this is how it's produced. This is what it's produced. Now let's look at this. Now you can see all these things over here. There are 12 pages, and you can see, I will show you how to use the colors by index numbers I'll show you by using how to use colors by their names, by their hexa codes, RGB, this 0 to 255, and then RGB 0.00 to 0.00 to 0.01. Now, if for example, if you want to select the index, you select 1 for white, and then if you want to use the name, you select white for white, white. And if you want to use the hexa codes, you select this one. If you want, and it is going to produce white. If you want to use, for example, if you want to use blue, you use 26. If you want to use by index, if you want to use blue by name, you use this. If you want to use 26 by the hexa codes, it also gives you this. The hexa code means it is in base 16. If you want to use RGB for the blue for RGB by using the colors, you can use this. You can use this code. I'll show you how to do this. Very, very simple. And if you want to use this one too, it's very, very simple. The RGB 0.00 to 0.01. Now, let's go back to our coding and our codes and then continue. So now let's look at how we use the names by the color names. The color names for this. So with the color names. Now, for example, if you want to create a bar plot, the bar plot that we created, if you want to create it with a red color by using the color names, this is what you're supposed to do. We use this code, bar plot fillant, and then the color is red, and it's going to give you a color plot, red plot. You can see it very here, very, very, very nice. And then if you want to, that is what we use. This one we use the name, so the color is red. Now, if you want to do blue, the same thing here, and then blue is going to show you a blue plot. Very, very nice over here. Now, so you can select any of the colors that you want to use. Very, very nice. Then you just go your way. Now, the RGB triplets 0.0. Now, let's look at how to use RGB triplets 0.00 to 0.01. So with that, it's just very simple, like I showed you in the PDF. So this one, it is very, very simple. You just do it like this, bar plot, fillant, then the color. This one we use red. So this one we just use RGB. This, it is found in the PDF file. So when you get the PDF file, you can just do it. And this one is also going to give you a red plot. Very, very nice. You can see it over here. The same thing if you want to do for blue. You do that over here, and then you run it, and it gives you a blue. Listen. Now let's look at, so you can do whatever you want to do. Very, very nice. Now let's look at how we use the RGB triplets 0.00 to 255. Now with that, if you want to do that, this is also the same thing. So it's basically the same thing. The only thing is it just changes like this one, and the maximum is the RGB. The RGB means that it's red, green, and then blue. But here, so the red, green, and then blue, and the maximum is what, 255. So 255 here is telling you that the maximum is supposed to be red. So we run this one, and it gives you a red plot. And then if you want a blue one, I intentionally use red and blue by using it, but you can use whatever code that you want. So if you want to do with this one, you can see that the blue here is the third one, and this is the third one. So it is the maximum. So if it is the maximum, we are expecting it to give us a blue plot, and then we run it, and it gives you a blue plot. So now let's look at how we use hexa codes. I'm going to show you how to use hexa codes, and then to do it. The hexa code, I show you the one you saw FFF whatever. Hexa code means that this is in base 16. So I'm showing you how to do hexa codes. So the hexa codes, if you want the hexa code for red, you can see it in that PDF. So the PDF, I mean, you can just download the PDF and then use the codes over there. If you want a red plot, this is the code. So you just color and you just put it in quotation marks, and then automatically this is going to give you a red plot. You run it, very, very nice. Now, if you want to use bar plot too, you do this like this, and then this one is going to give you a blue plot. I'm just commenting them, nothing. So this one also gives you a blue plot. So now let's look at the index numbers. I showed you the index numbers. You remember I told you that a blue color is 26. Now let's look at it over here. Now we are going to use index numbers to do it, and white is 1. You saw it. So we are going to use index numbers. Now, when it comes to the index numbers, this is how it is coded. So we code this like this: bar plot, phalanx, and then the color is 255. So the color, you use this code. The color is equal to, then into brackets, not a curly bracket. This is just a bracket, and this is supposed to give you a red plot, and then you run it. It gives you a red plot. Very, very nice. Now, if you want to use the blue, if you want for the blue too, the blue, I told you it is 26. I showed it to you in your in the PDF, and this one will also give you a very blue plot. Very, very nice. Now let's look at how to use multiple colors. Are you aware you can use multiple colors in a graph? Yes, you can do that. Let's look at how to do that. So now we are going to use multiple colors. Now, let's say we want to use the red. We have been trying red and blue, red and blue, red and blue. So let's look at how to combine all of them together. I showed you in the previous video how to combine factors, and it is basically the same format. So you do this, you run this, and then the color, then you write C. This is to combine all of them, and then put them in a factor. So this is how it is done. You can run this code, and it gives you a plot, multiple colors. You can add any color you want. You can add multiple colors, and it's going to give you something nice. Now, let's look at how we use palettes in our programming. So by using palettes, what are palettes? Do we even know what palette is? So I mean, if you don't know what palettes are, then let's run this code and see what palettes are. So palettes, it's just to help you to do graphics, the plots, and it can, like I showed you initially, we can use the heat plots, the heat colors. You can use the topo colors, the terrain colors. So now let's look at how to use what are palettes? I mean, we can just palettes are just some numbers. So there are some colors, and what colors are palettes? So we can run them over here, palettes, and then we see the palette over here. It gives you a black, the hexa code. You can search for the hexa code for this. You can also search for all the hexa codes, but I mean, that is not important, but we are going to see them. So now, if you want to draw the bar plot for phalanx by using the first, the 8, what this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. By using all the 8, okay, that one, we just use this simple code. We just use this simple code, and then let's do it. And it's going to give you the color from 1 up to 8. So let's run it and see. You see, it gives you all the multicolors. Now, if you want to use, you can also choose to use any of them, like 4 or 6. You can either 1 or 4, 1 to 4 or 1 to 6 or whatever you can do. You can choose any numbers that you want. So for example, if you want 6, you do it this way. You do it this way. Look at it. Very, very nice. So you can choose any of them. Now, if you want to use rainbow colors, let me show you how to use rainbow colors in your bar graph. It's very, very simple. If you just type the bar plot filament and then colors, then you use rainbow. So this is how it is done. The rainbow color, then you choose rainbow. How many numbers? You can choose 3, 7, 4, whatever, and then you run it, and it gives you the colors of the rainbow. Very, very nice. If you want to use heat colors is something I like because it shows you how deep or light the colors are depending on the number. So, for example, if you write this, it's going to give you a yellow to red, and it's very, very nice. Let's run it and see. So you see the colors over here. The larger ones are red, and then it goes up. Then it starts again. So that this is how heat colors are done. Now let's look at how to use terrain colors. Terrain colors to run from gray to tan. So we can use it over here. What you have to do is to run this code, and then color, and then use terrain colors, and you choose how many colors you want. 6. So you run it, and it gives you this colors. Very, very nice. Now, if you want if you want to use the topo colors it gives you a colors from purple to tan, and everything is here. You run this code. So you choose the topo colors 7, and then you run it, and it's going to give you the colors over here. Very, very nice. Now, last but not the least, if you want to use the CM colors to they have colors from pink to blue. So you can just also run them CM colors, and then from pinks to blues, and then you can also run it, and it gives you everything over here. Very, very nice. Now, after drawing all your plots, you might have to delete, or you might have to clear all your plots. So if you want to clear your plots, the only thing you have to do is to type this this code, and then this code is going to clear all your plots. So we just run it, and then it clears every plot. This is very, very nice. I think this is all you need to know about how to design colors, and then know what to do with it. Thank you very much. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel.